Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Jordan Lee Andrew. Welcome back to the Massholes with Mike's podcast. This is episode 3. Jordan Lee Andrew, like I said, joined by Jacqueline Galvin and Jeremy Guerin. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing good. I have my Mary Lou's coffee, and I'm rearing and ready to talk about sports.
I haven't been to Mary Lou since coming home, and that's honestly depressing.
Yeah, I love Mary Lou's.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, because you're on the North Shore. It's hashtag South Shore things.
Yeah, come to the South Shore and get.
It's actually like it's such good coffee. Like, I don't know how else to describe it besides it tastes like candy. Like, I have a peanut butter coffee in my hands currently. It's so good.
Grind up Reese's Pieces and put it in there or something?
I don't even know how they make it, but it tastes exactly like peanut butter, and I love it.
I get a minty Lou every time I go there.
Those are good.
Those are phenomenal. But anyway, Jeremy, how are you doing today? I know you just had lunch like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Let me tell you, stressed this morning at work, but we're here now, and I am ready and raring for game.
We're rearing and ready to go.
The only problem is, just like game 1, I have to get in for 6 o'clock tomorrow, so I'm waking up at 4. So, like game 1, I am wishing for no overtimes.
I mean,
I'm going to stay up for it.
I'd like to not have any overtimes anyway, but
yeah.
No, I don't like overtime. I'm fine with going to overtime in the Stanley Cup Final. It's not a bad thing, but I don't know if I can do it if I have to get in for 6.
Yeah, that's rough.
Fair enough. I actually get to watch this game. I didn't even get home until like there was 10 minutes left in the third period the other night. That was brutal.
This team not to buy important Red Sox tickets the day of something important.
I didn't buy these. These were prearranged for like 3 weeks. This was part of like my dad's the team my dad coaches that I help out with. One of the parents bought tickets for everybody to go, so that's why I went. And
who did you end up meeting? Because you said you were gonna meet 3 people.
Oh, the Sox didn't take BP that day because my dad's conspiracy theory is the Pedroia press conference that we'll get into later. But yeah, so we'll get into that in a little bit. But the Bruins game 2 is tonight against St. Louis at 8 p.m. They won game 1 after getting down 2-0. But from what I heard and what I saw in the highlights, it didn't look like they were really the worst. Like, it didn't look like they weren't the better team throughout the entire 25 minutes before they scored a goal. It just looked like it was a couple of bad plays that St. Louis capitalized on. But for the most part, it looked like the Bruins owned those first 25.
No.
It
looked like absolute utter garbage in the first.
They were definitely rough for the first period, but like that god-awful Chara pass behind the net. Oh my god, my dad and I were screaming at the TV. Like, what are you doing?
It wasn't Chara's fault. Not that time.
Yeah.
I don't know what Pasternak thought he saw, but he didn't see anything, clearly, because that was just atrocious. The Bruins looked absolutely lost for about 21 minutes in that game. Brad Marchand was absolutely terrible. You brought out your top line to deal with the top line of the Blues and Tarasenko, Shen, and Schwartz, and that line collectively was -6 21 minutes in because they had let in both goals.
Right.
The only reason the first goal got started was because Tarasenko absolutely undressed Zdeno Chara and pantsed him in the middle of the ice trying to go for a chip-in by Schwartz, and he just couldn't catch up to it because Chara moves at – there are fast players, there are normal players, there are slow players, and then Chara has his own little glaze category at the end. It's just atrocious. Yeah, they look terrible in the first period. I would say Marchand especially, but Pasternak passed up a few open shots early that I'm screaming at him to take. He took a couple nice slap shots throughout the first 5 minutes and then decided that he was gonna be a revolving door and pass on everybody for the rest of the period, which was just infuriating.
They figured it out by the second period, I felt like. Like, the momentum definitely shifted in the favor of the Bruins by the second period. And I thought that they made some good adjustments, you know what I mean? And they definitely felt, I don't know, because obviously they had 10 days off, coming off of, it was 10, right? It was like 10 or 11.
13, I think.
Oh, 13?
Yeah.
Chara had 13. I believe the rest of them had 11.
Okay. So coming back from 11 days of rest, that's really tough. And I think everyone kind of expected them to be, I don't know, rough, but I don't think that people expected them to be like that rough coming back onto it, because people were like, oh, they're the Bruins, like they're going to get it done, which they did end up getting it done. But still, like, the first period had me very scared, very, very scared. But like I said, made some adjustments. A thing that I thought was very interesting was that I lost my train of thought, so never mind. Anyways. Yeah. I lost my train of thought in the middle.
George, any thoughts? I know you're about to say something, then I will jump back in after.
Oh, I remembered what I was gonna say, but
you can finish your thought.
Oh, okay. So, I thought that Tuco was kind of like a non-factor in the game because like he played decently, like he played well enough to get the win, but like he wasn't that like brick wall that we've seen in other series. So I'm gonna be interested to see tonight, or well, this will come out tomorrow. So how yesterday night's game was.
Yesterday night.
But I mean, I don't have much to talk about in regards to game one because most of what I saw were highlights in the last 10 minutes of the game. I got back just after Corrali scored to give him the lead.
I didn't see anything exciting.
I saw Marshawn's empty netter. Woo! Yay! But yeah, I think for the most part, I think everyone kind of felt like the Bruins were going to wind up winning that game once they tied it, and then you go into the third period. It was just kind of like it's a matter of who's going to wind up getting this goal, but I feel like everyone kind of knew the Bruins were going to wind up winning it once McAvoy scored that game-tying goal. Which, by the way, was I remember because, like I said, I was driving home and I'm just tracking the game through the group chat because they got down 2-0 while I was listening to it, and I'm like shutting it off. We'll see how this works from here. And I'm tracking it, and Jeremy said they need one more power play because they're rolling. They just need one more to get it done. And then he said they regressed, and then the next text is, let's fucking go. I'm like,
what is happening?
I thought they regressed.
Okay, so you didn't see I don't know if you saw the entire power play, like through the highlights or not, but essentially what happened was throughout that power play, it was a minute and a half of we couldn't enter we can't enter the zone. No matter what we try, no matter what we're going for, the Bruins said, nah, they don't want to enter the zone. Bergeron and Krug stayed out there for, I believe, the entire power play up until then. And they had just gotten a couple of good chances, but Binnington had lost his goal stick and he kicked it out to center ice. And then McAvoy takes it and goes 1-on-4 and scores. I'm like, okay, so good for you. Binnington should have stopped the goal. He should have. It's a Stanley Cup. He should be good enough to be able to stop it. As I'm also realizing, and we can get to this in a second, Binnington is kind of dirty. But in terms of the second period, the entire change in the period was entirely due to the fourth line. So the Blues score, and to make it 2-0 with about 19 minutes left, I think, even in the second period, and I'm going, oh my word. If I have to see St. Louis win like 4-0, not only can I not shit talk my boss the next day at work, I'm just going to be depressed, it's going to be bad. And then 76 seconds later, Clifton scores because Corrali's going, driving the net and centers it to him, and Binnington just tried to fan at it, I guess? I don't even know what to swat at it, and it just went into the net. But Cassidy talked about it after the game, and he said, look, I have a lot of guys on this team that are talented. They're going to try and make east-west plays and try and dangle and do sweet little moves and stuff like Marchand. That entire top line, that's all they were doing. They were doing loop-de-loops and circles and jack shit throughout the entire second period. But Sean Corrali, Nola Chari, Joakim Nordstrom, those three guys, I know what I'm getting. It's going to be north-south. They're going to chip it in and try and get it to the net. They're not going to pull out the fancy moves. Although Corrali kicking the puck onto his stick is a pretty high-level move for a fourth liner.
That pass from Achara was pretty dope too. I mean, it wasn't right on the tape, but it was right into the skates of Corrali. And like you said, he made a hell of a play with his skates to get it to his stick. But I thought that pass was beautiful too. And like two guys that are not necessarily known for their offense. I know Corrali, when it matters most, all of a sudden turns into prime Wayne Gretzky. But like, I thought that was a pretty impressive play from both of them on that goal.
I think that the fourth line was definitely the turning point, considering you got Corrali with the go-ahead. He assisted on Clifton, and Clifton had a great game too.
Phenomenal.
However, I was looking at some of these plays afterwards, and the Blues, I don't know what the Blues were doing the entire game, but the Bruins got 5 power plays, and it's a power play that's been lethal the entire postseason. Yeah. You can't allow them 5 shots at it, especially when you could see that they're warming to the task after the fourth one. Then I think it was Oscar Sundquist decides to back check Clifton and right into the boards, and I'm like, oh, that's just stupid. You should have seen this coming. The one call that I was initially very pissed off about, that eventually when you look back on it, I'm kind of wondering about, was the Edmondson penalty on Backus. Because he definitely cross-checks him in the face, and it should have been a penalty. I didn't think he embellished at first, but when you look back on it, he might have.
He definitely did.
He might have. And I don't know why, considering that he was the captain of the Blues for like 6 years. I don't know why you're doing that, but I guess whatever Backes needs to draw a penalty, because if it's David Backes in a fight, I'll take him. And if it's David Backes drawing penalties, I don't know what the Blues are doing, because that's absolutely stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we've seen from David Backes in this postseason is when he's not scoring goals, because he's got a few this postseason. None of them were like really huge, except he did kind of the dagger against the Blue Jackets. But I feel like he's been drawing a ton of penalties. He's been physical, which is all they've been asking of him. And I know it's not worth the $6 million he's due every single year, but he's been huge for them in this postseason. I think the turning point's really been when he was put in the lineup to stay, because you notice every time he was inserted, they won the game, and there was a ton of energy. And now him being there, even if he's just drawing penalties, he's been a very effective piece of this Bruins, the Bruins top 6 this postseason. So he's probably gone after the year's over anyway, but I don't think there's any reason to complain about what he's given you this playoff.
Who are you talking about? Sorry,
Backes.
Yeah, okay. The one thing I will say is the best player on the ice last night didn't register a point, didn't register anything. Marcus Johansson, absolute beast.
He's been awesome.
Twice he hit the post once, and the second time he's just getting clean breaks throughout the entire Blues penalty kill or 5-on-5. He's like 1-on-3, no worries. Stick handles right in on Binnington. It was unbelievable. I couldn't figure out what was going on. Good for him. He was an absolute machine in that game, and I know he didn't register a point, but him, Coyle, and Heinen had a pretty decent game. Johansson and Kuraly, I believe, had more shifts than both Pastrnak and Coyle, if that says anything. Kuraly was out there for a lot of the game last night. It was Cassidy likes to play the guys that are hot, which is more than I can say for someone like Claude, who didn't like to do that. And one of Boston's current coaches, Brad Stevens, can't do it either. But anyway, I think
Alex Cora can't either.
The 3 stars of the game definitely deserved them because they were absolutely monstrous in this game. Clifton, Kuraly, and Johansson. I thought Johansson was the best out of the 3, but I get Kuraly getting number 1 just because he scored the goal.
And he got the assist on Clifton's goal as well. So so I think if Johansson might have registered a point, or on that first, I only saw the first post that the post that he hit in the first period, I believe it was. If he scores that, I think he might have been the first star of the game. Like he just needed a point. It's kind of hard to justify giving a guy with no points the first star of the game. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I agree 100% with the 3 stars of that game as well.
I think it was Brindamore, the coach for Carolina, who said, "I'd rather the top line beat us than some of these other guys, because if the top line's struggling, they're eventually going to heat up." Well, if you're St. Louis, you got to be quaking right now, because that's exactly what the Bruins did. The Bruins beat you with their 4th line and essentially their 3rd line. The second line didn't do jack. Outside that DeBrusk breakaway early on, which he just couldn't get on net. Once the first line heats up, watch out, because, I'm worried that Pasternak's starting to drift back to Columbus Pastrnak, but Bergeron and Marchand are still there. They'll get it done. I don't know how much Marchand's hand is bothering him, though, so we'll have to take a look at that as the series progresses.
Yeah, that's true.
Can we talk about the Torrey Krug hit?
Oh, yes.
Holy crap. Wait, did you see that Thomas isn't playing tonight either?
Yeah.
And Wikipedia got edited, too, saying he died in TD Garden at the hands of Torrey Krug in Game 1 in the Cup final.
Yeah, Robert Thomas, who's the guy that Krug hit, he isn't playing tonight, but how do you say this coach's last name? The Blues coach, Berube? It's a classic case of me not knowing how to pronounce a hockey name. But Berube said that it wasn't anything to do with the hit, that he sustained the actual death that occurred on the ice that night.
Did Robert Thomas play after that hit at all? Did he play after he got hit?
I don't know.
I believe so.
I mean, in all seriousness, would you want the injury disclosed as you got decked by some 5'9" like Joe Bag of Donuts who can't not physical at all? I mean,
more getting a lot of messages and stuff from friends and family. So
what is going on?
It's part of the game.
Oh, yeah, it was also clean. Krug was talking. You're just gonna have to edit that out.
I was so confused.
I was confused too. I couldn't figure out if it was mine or somebody else's.
Was it you?
I think it was me. Yeah, my bad. I googled Krug just to see Sorry, Robert Thomas, just to see why he was out.
Ah, gotcha. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Just restart it and just like go into what you were
All
saying.
right. Well, who was talking?
I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. We can just start over.
Okay. And I'll just start it with the game 2 preview. So in 3, 2, 1. So I hate you. I hate you so much.
I wasn't done yet. I wanted to keep going with game 1 for a second.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So you could just take it.
Any other thoughts on game 1, and then
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
All right. In 3, 2, 1. So you guys have any last thoughts on game 1?
Yeah. So for instance, the Krug hit. I don't know why Perron didn't get a penalty for absolutely mugging him on the other end of the ice before that. That was absurd. Pierre LeBrun, who's actually not a bad hockey analyst, was going off saying that it should have been a charging penalty, but he glided the rest of the way to Robert Thomas before he took off, and he hit him right in the chest. So it's clearly a clean hit. I don't know what all these butthurt other fans are saying. I really don't. I know everyone doesn't want the Bruins to win, but still. I will say that Binnington, elbow to the head of David Backes, and the hook on Marchand. He's dirty as I thought.
Nasty.
I don't know why he's doing it. I really don't.
Because he's scared. He's intimidated. He knows he's not a good enough goalie to win this series, so he has to be an asshole about it.
That's a Marchand type of move, but Marchand's talented and he's a good enough goalie to get you to the Stanley Cup final. He has a chance to win it, especially with those monsters on defense in front of you. St. Louis is in trouble though, just because. Yeah, I know that hockey you can win any game that you want, but they had a 2-0 lead in the final with those absolute horses that they have on the back end. You should have won that game. You absolutely should have closed them out. Parenko is huge. Petrangelo's giant. And you still have Edmondson and Bortuzzo and all these checking guys who will lay a physical toll on you. If those defensemen had shown up, then you might have actually had a chance. But it was stupid penalties, and it was
it was a lack of discipline, really.
Yeah, they really need to show up because they have a 10-4 record in the playoffs right now on the road. They're a good road team, but I don't know.
Yeah, they're 10-4 on the road, but the Bruins are also on, a 7-game win streak right now. So the Bruins are also really hot.
Yeah, highest, especially longest one of Cassidy's Bruins career.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. You can compare both, like the away stats and just like the Bruins stats in general. But I really think a team with a winning streak is more dangerous than a team who wins a lot on the road. Just an opinion, because like they have the momentum. Plus, it's their home ice, 7-game winning streak. Like.
Oh, can we talk about the fan banner thing real quick?
Go for it.
Okay, so why? Yeah, okay, 2011, good. I appreciated that they had Ryder, Peverly, and the Merlot line in there, but I mean, we all know who we wanted to see, right? Timmy Thomas.
Yeah, I wanted Thomas Caberlet, bro. That's who I wanted. That's the only person I wanted to see.
Where the frick was?
Oh wait, what about Tyler Sagan?
No. Also,
who's the fan banner captain tonight?
Do we know yet?
No. You'll have to edit this out, Jordan, but I can hear myself echoing from one of your computers. I don't know why.
You were echoing a bit. I could hear it too a little bit ago, but I can't hear it anymore.
Yeah, I can't hear it either.
Weird. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, Tim Thomas is clearly hiding out. Now I can hear it again. In his hideout in his like bunker or wherever he's in Idaho. There's an overhead picture of it. He's got a nice pool, and the thing literally looks like it's armed for Armageddon. Like there's nothing going on outside of it. It's just a pool, a house, nothing. There's one car. There's like I'm willing to bet he's got like a bunch of AK-47s in there that he's just like pointed at everybody. If you're the Bruins, you really should have reached out and tried to get him back. And then Horton would have been absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, maybe they'll come back at some point in this series. I don't know.
I know I said who I thought the captains would be. I'm leaning towards, I think Bill and imagine if you could get, because Kraft was at the game last night and people got mad that he was there and Boston fans were applauding him, which was stupid. But imagine if you could get Kraft, Brady, and Belichick to all do the banner tonight.
That'd be awesome.
Imagine how electric that would be.
Hell, just get me one of them, and it'd be
Yeah.
an absolute. Well, maybe not. Maybe not just
If
Bill.
you get one of them, then I bet that Edelman would join in because Edelman is going insane right now with all of these like games and stuff. Have you seen his Instagram? He made like a rally shirt for them and gave it to everyone on the team and is selling them through his personal website.
Like, definitely saving Bobby Orr for a closeout if they get back in Game 5, just because he's already done it this postseason, so you can't really use him again unless it's a closeout game.
Yeah.
Just because the Bobby Orr goal is obviously in the deciding game of the Stanley Cup. So, yeah. That's why I think that they're saving Bobby Orr, but I would love to see – I wish we saw Rene Rancourt doing a fist bump and raving banner. Do you know how awesome that would have been?
That would be fantastic. But speaking of the rally banner, how about the rally towel with the whole everyone going nuts? Yeah, everyone going nuts on Twitter about the Bruins partnering with Barstool for Game 2 with the rally towels. Like, I don't know too much about it. Like, I just saw like what everyone was freaking out about, and it was in regards to that. And everyone's saying like the Bruins are sponsored by Barstool now, which is not true. They're partnering for Game 2 with the rally towels.
Does the rally towel look cool?
It looks like a rally towel.
It looks like the normal rally towel.
And then it just has Barstool's logo on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it makes sense from the Bruins and Barstool's standpoint, from like a business standpoint, because Barstool is like it's really a Boston-based sports site because like Portnoy is a Boston fan. Like there's a ton of like really big, plus they have like Blues guys. Like I forget who it was who Portnoy was giving a noogie to on the camera on the on the Jumbotron. But I don't know, it makes sense for both of them from a business standpoint. And also like I don't know, it's one game and like I get that Barstool's not really the best when it comes to, you know, issues in that standpoint, but I don't know, like I feel like I don't know. It's I understand both sides. But at the same time I'm like it's just a towel.
That's literally my thought process.
It's just a towel.
It's a freaking towel. But like, what I don't understand is there's some people who are like really pissed off about this rally towel, but they were like loving the whole Conor McGregor night.
Yeah.
Which I think the McGregor night, it honestly looks worse for the Bruins than having the freaking Barstool logo on a damn towel. Like, if you're gonna be mad about that, be mad about the McGregor thing. And if you weren't mad about the McGregor thing, who the hell cares? It's a damn towel.
I thought that there was a what's it called? A fake account for Portnoy, and it was Presidente but with a Z, and it replied to Carolyn, and I went, "What?" I read it really fast. I went, "No way." That would have been really funny though. I don't see a problem with it. I'm with you guys. It's just dumb. Sure.
Yeah.
You can I guess if this is the thing that you're really going after, does it say more about the company that's trying to earn a quick buck, and same with the Bruins, or does it say more about you for trying to fixate on something so trivial? I guess would be my point. Like, yeah, you want to stamp out examples of sexism or racism or homophobia or something like that, but at some point, I feel like people should learn to pick their battles a little bit wiser, more wisely. Yeah, I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, people love to be outraged in 2019. It's like every little thing you have to find something that bothers you, but that's an argument for a different day. But I mean, we just kind of had to go over it because it is something that is pretty big today. At least on Twitter, I'm seeing it all over the place. People are complaining about the rally towel, so I figured we'd bring it up. And might as well dive into the Game 2 preview a little bit. I expect the Bruins to be a lot sharper than they were in Game 1, even though I felt like the last, I'm trying to do math in my head now, 39 minutes of the game, they were the better team, and they looked a lot sharper than they did in the first 21. But I expect the Bruins to wind up winning this game, and I think they should do it in relatively convincing fashion. And I don't know if I should start knocking on wood now or wait till the game starts, but Jeremy's got it for me. I'm not near wood at the moment. I'm kind of in the middle of this living room, but I do think the Bruins are going to win in relatively convincing fashion tonight. I don't know. I think Johansson's going to wind up putting one in at some point because he, like you said, was the best player on the ice in Game 1. It's only a matter of time before it finds the back of the net. And what are you looking at right now?
Me?
No, Jeremy, because he's got like a weird face going on right now.
The Bruins sweaters on the Ducks in the comment, and it's unbelievable.
That's fantastic. That is awesome.
I don't know if you saw this, but I think somebody went to Boston the other day and made a video that got like 2,000 likes complaining that there wasn't a sweater.
There wasn't one, yeah.
So they put it on there. That's awesome. I love that. Okay, yeah, I'm done. Also, in terms of Game 2 notes, I'm looking at it and I'm saying Krug is definitely going to get some retribution for this thing, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to be. I just know that you better be watching your back if you're Torrey Krug tonight. He could get lit up like a Christmas tree. We don't know. It's going to be interesting. Yeah.
He very well could. I mean, he's little too, so I mean, if he gets hit in a very bad like area of the ice, that dude's season could be over. So he does have to be mindful. He might have to be shadowed by whoever he's paired with for the entire night as well. But yeah, I don't really necessarily have a lot to say on Game 2.
Yeah, neither do I.
Though, because in 2011 the Bruins won the Cup and they lost the first 2 games on the road. So St. Louis can do it too. I still think it's going to be a grind.
What?
I said knock on wood.
Yeah. I've been trying to get my boss to bet on the Blues with me. So I'm channeling my inner Pat, obviously. I want to bet him that the Bruins are going to win the series because he's a Cowboys fan and hates all of Boston. So if it's like 2-2 heading back for Game 5, I might be able to squeeze it out of him. But then I'd be nervous, so I don't know how I want it.
Yeah, I feel that. So we might as well shift gears and talk a little bit about the Red Sox, unless you guys have anything else on the Bruins.
No, but I would like to submit a name change. Could we call them the Boston Dumpster Fires instead?
Honestly, it's getting to that point. But before we get
another thing, who said that before the year? Yes, I did. And
you just can't be right without letting everybody know.
You know, I was so close to getting the final matchup right for almost every sport. If I had gotten the Celtics and if I had gotten the Sharks, but I'll take it.
Yeah,
it's
8's not bad.
But before we get into the real like dumpster fire part of the Red Sox, which is their bullpen, I guess we could talk about a little mini. It's like a garbage can fire right now, and it's just Dustin Pedroia, who spoke in front of the media with Alex Cora and Dave Dombrowski the other day before Game 1 of this series against Cleveland, and everyone thought he was retiring. I mean, it made the most sense. He got removed from his last rehab game after like 4 innings, was scratched from the lineup the next day, and then an impromptu media or press conference with Alex Cora and Dave Dombrowski just seemed like the perfect time for him to just call it a career.
Yeah.
Instead, he goes, I need more time. I'm not playing for a while. I can't be active for more than an hour without pain, and I'm never going to fully recover from my surgery.
So why would you keep playing? So stupid. It's so stupid. Just retire. Just retire. He had a good career. Just retire. This is just putting it's like a dumpster fire on his career, essentially.
It really is because I mean
on his own career.
In all seriousness, I don't blame him for wanting to stick it out.
No, I don't either.
Walking away from $30 million, and his contract when he signed it was very team friendly to begin with. But walking away from $30 million when you haven't made, I mean, relatively speaking, for a guy of his caliber, should have made a lot more in his career.
Wait, doesn't he still have money guaranteed though?
Yeah, he's got like deferred money. It's like $5 million a year for the next 4 or 5 years.
So my dad and I were talking about this last night, and we were kind of saying like, oh, how are they going to like deal with his contract if he does end up retiring, which he should by the end of the season. I give it until July. That's my bet. But they should restructure it so that it's a what's it called? A
deferred
a coach's salary, so that way it doesn't like mess with the luxury tax or anything. Because if they're still paying him as a player technically, don't you think wouldn't that kind of mess with the luxury tax and like the salary cap?
I think they can.
I just thought. Sorry, Jordan, you go.
I was gonna say I think if he retires due to medical reasons, that it becomes like they can still pay him and it doesn't go against their luxury tax.
Oh, really?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I know it happened with Prince Fielder.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Rangers are still paying him for the rest of his salary. I don't know if he's still under or he would still be under contract, or if that already expired. But I know they paid the rest of his contract to him.
I just didn't know because my dad was like, "What are they going to do?" Because they still owe him a lot of money, and they're still trying to sign JD and Mookie. So it's like that'll be interesting. That's just something to watch out for. But he's on what 60-day IL now. He really like it really pains me because I love Pedroia and I've always loved him. He's been like my favorite Red Sox for as long as I can remember. And it just like it's really sad because you can tell how much he loves baseball and how much he still wants to play, but his body literally has shut down on him. Like he was like, I have a hard time walking now. I'm sorry, but like you can't play like he's never going to be the player that he was. And when you have Brock Holt and Michael Chavis up, like Brock Holt back, Michael Chavis doing insane, I feel like you should be. I don't know. Like the future's all kind of set out, and just having that kind of like looming is just it's a little much.
Yeah, especially at the $12 million he's making this year, and I believe it actually goes up next year.
It does. So, it's like 16 next year or something like that.
Also, because his salary next year I think is still like 13 or 14 million. But then he also next year is when the deferred money also sets in, so he's also getting paid like $5 million that he was due in like 2012 and he'll be getting that next year. So like that's a lot of money going to Pedroia for a guy who hasn't played like a meaningful stretch of baseball in 2 years. And like what Pedroia is really, and like it's not necessarily his fault.
No.
But like, because honestly, the thing that's gonna suck the most is you look back at it and you're like, what happens if Machado doesn't take his knee out in that game? Which, by the way, I actually don't think was a dirty slide. I still don't think it was a dirty slide. I think it was just a late slide.
Yeah.
But like, I lost my train of thought. Crap. Oh no, I got it. But like, so the last 2 years, it's all been about Pedroia being hurt, and then the last year he was healthy. Everyone was on his case for the entire year about the whole Matt Barnes, Manny Machado thing.
Yeah.
Because he basically threw his teammates under the bus saying that wasn't me, that was them. So, like, especially when he was supposed to be the de facto leader when David Ortiz retired. So, like, his last 3 years have really just made him look like
an ass.
Yeah. And, like, and you don't even – and you also factor in how he played in October. And, like, in those 4 games, I think he had 1 hit. And in that game 4, he was 0 for 5 and struck out the bases loaded at one point. So, like, he's not like he doesn't have a lot going for him in the last few years. I mean, the last time
bring up the exit interview that he had.
Yeah.
That was what I was going to say. And also, I think the reason that he's not retiring now is he wants a retirement tour. He wants gifts from people. I really do. Although there's no good reason that he keeps playing right now. He's just doing further harm to himself, his teammates, and the ownership to try and balance the salary cap situation at this point. Dude, leave.
I don't know who I heard this from. I know I saw it on Twitter, and I don't know if it was either of you who tweeted it, but it was like Dustin Pedroia is going to stick it out until the Sox have a homestand with the Yankees again and then retire after that. That's what I saw on Twitter. I don't know if it was either of you, but
I don't tweet about Pedroia. That's Jordan's job.
Yeah, I don't tweet about like my theories on him retiring. Basically my theory that I haven't put on Twitter yet is I expect him to basically wait out the next 60, 100 days, and then some series in September he's just like, activate me for 1 game, let me play 5 innings, and then yank me. I get my ovation from the crowd, and then call it a career. Then I don't think he wants his last professional baseball game being like in Portland. I think he'd rather it be at Fenway. And I mean, as much as I've like grown to, I don't want to say I dislike Pedroia, but as much as like I've grown to not love Pedroia over the last few years.
No, dislike.
I do feel like he
deserves that.
He at least deserves a chance to go out in front of the crowd.
Yeah.
And not have it be because of injury, have it be like on his own terms.
Yeah.
I just want him gone at this point. I'm just saying I think he does deserve it to at least be his last game, at least be an MLB game. I don't think it should be a game for the Portland Sea Dogs.
His last 2 notable things done as a Red Sox that people will remember him for, how people will remember him as he goes out, were crapping on his teammates twice. It's not them, it's not me, it's them. And I'm a leader, I'm still here in his exit interview. Shameful. Absolutely shameful.
He's done a lot to tarnish his legacy since 2017. But
we also have to talk about the game that I didn't stay up for last night because I had work, but I woke up and saw that they lost. What in the world?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
It's because I wasn't there.
No,
Just
so
gonna say
Declan
that.
was not carrying.
I
Also,
basically I
Moreland
didn't.
the IL with a back strain, clearly because he was carrying the team. Him and
Moreland?
Yeah.
Saw that. But with last night's game, I didn't watch it. I watched like bits and pieces of it. So I saw them score a couple. I saw Holt hit that knock in 2 on the air, and then I watched Barnes get out of the jam in the 8th inning. But other than that, I didn't watch much of the game. But like, can we kind of start a petition to get Ryan Brazier off this team? He's absolutely
No.
terrible.
He's fine in low leverage situations. Give him the stick.
He's awful.
You need a closer.
They don't need a closer.
Yes, they do.
They have a closer. They just don't use him in the 9th inning.
They need a 9th inning guy. Fine.
They have one.
Greg Kimbrell.
No.
Yes.
No, they don't need to pay $17 million to a closer. They don't need to do that.
Yes, they do. It's
No,
no.
they don't.
We tried your experiment for 2 months. It didn't work.
Okay, so get another 8th inning guy and put Matt Barnes in the 9th inning because he's been your best reliever.
But don't you want him in the high leverage situations?
If you can find another guy who can pitch in high leverage situations, I'm perfectly fine giving Barnes the 9th inning and saying that's your job. We might need you for 5 outs one night, but your job is the 9th inning. Get saves. That's all we need for him. That's all the Sox need from him. I think going $17 million to Craig Kimbrell is, for starters, it doesn't guarantee you a World Series title, and it kind of ruins the whole big picture.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of the way to getting there.
I know.
God, you could argue that you've really blown a couple of these last couple games against Houston and Cleveland. There's at least 2 or 3 that you can put on the bullpen and say, "Yo, where were you?" And you almost blew the one against Toronto. That 14 inning marathon that Sean jinxed.
That sucked.
I'm actually trying to blame. I think I might blame Sean more than the bullpen at this point. That dude's killing it. That dude's killing us. It's brutal.
Really good predictions this year. Sean is still doing his little psychic thing. I can't really compare anymore. My predictions have kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. The whole Greg Allen one last night, though. But like, Ryan Brazier his ERA now is just under 4, and he's blown now 3 saves this year. The Sox have blown 5 saves and 21 save opportunities this season, and 3 of them have been Brazier. One was Barnes, and one was Walden against Toronto, and I'm trying to remember who the other one was. It was Hembry in Toronto as well. So they blew 2 saves against Toronto in that one game, and 3 are on Brazier. But Barnes hasn't blown one yet. I'm still saying he's the closer of this team. I just think they need another 8th inning guy. I don't know who that is.
Houston on Saturday.
What?
He didn't record an out in Houston on Saturday.
Okay, well that's one outing, and then he came back and he pitched a shutout ending the next game.
Mm-hmm.
And he got out of a jam last night against Cleveland. I know Cleveland's not the Cleveland of 2016, but they're still a pretty damn good team. And he did well against them last night. I'm not going to discredit his entire.
No, I'm not. Okay, hang on. You're
missing that outings.
I'm not saying that he's bad, but aren't you the one that said that you wanted Barnes against the high leverage guys, which means that you need a 9th inning guy, someone who's been there, someone who's done that. None of these Red Sox have done that, and I don't think that anyone that's out on the market right now that's available outside of maybe Doolittle is worth going and getting if you're getting Scherzer with him. But it's going to cost a ton.
I think just getting Doolittle alone is worth it at this point.
I know, but I don't know if you're going to go get him. And is it worth the prospect to give up as opposed to shelling out some money for somebody? Money for prospects, I'd rather give out money.
Basically, what the Red Sox need at this point is to just be – well, for starters, obviously they need to get hot again. And they need to make sure that they are within like 4 or 5 games of first place by mid-July, because that's when you know who's going to be selling at the deadline. This isn't like the NHL where like you can have St. Louis go on a 12-game winning streak and they're all of a sudden in 3rd in their division. This is a situation where they need to be like 4 or 5 games out of first by mid-July, and you can see like Washington's probably going to be out of it. I imagine Atlanta probably won't be in it at that point. The Giants are definitely not going to be in it at that point. There's a lot of teams and the Pirates too. There's a lot of teams out there that have pitchers or relievers that are very capable of pitching the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning. The Pirates have that Felipe Vasquez guy. He's pretty good. He's a lefty.
They still have Milan, but is he worth it?
No, the Giants have Will Smith, not the actor. They have the white Will Smith. He's decent. I mean, he's not great, but he's a lefty, and they need a lefty reliever too. So, I'm just saying that there are options out there that aren't going to cost you $17 million, and
they will cost you some prospects. Some good.
Will Smith will probably not cost you good prospects. He's decent, but he's not like anything crazy.
You need someone that can actually shut the door.
Well, they don't need him to shut the door. They have Barnes for that. They have
hand at the deadline last year, but obviously he was too expensive.
And he sucked for Cleveland anyway. So I mean, he's been fine for them this year, but last year he was not very good for them.
Oh. I mean, it's Brad Hand though. Like he was under contract for another year afterwards.
I think he's actually under contract next year too, so it would be 2 years.
God.
Which was why the asking price on him was so high. I mean, the Indians traded Francisco Mejia, who was like the number 2 prospect in baseball last year.
Speaking of which,
San Diego.
About the 2 teams that have done really well this year that I don't know if any of us had doing well with the Padres and the Twins. I had them both.
I had the Twins winning the division.
I had both of them finishing second in their division, but it was close. I think I had the Twins winning over 90 games.
I had the Twins winning the Central. I had the Padres coming in third. I thought the Dodgers, and I gave the Rockies too much credit. I had them winning, or I had the Dodgers winning the division, Rockies second, and then San Diego third. But Arizona's been pretty good too. There's a lot of teams out there that are, like, for some reason are really good this year that I don't understand. But I mean, that's not really the topic on hand. But the Red Sox bullpen sucks as it usually does. But I just hate when some people like to lump in like guys like Barnes and Walden. Like Walden had his first bad outing in forever last night, or his second bad outing of the year last night, and everyone's talking about how much he sucks. Like his ERA is actually better than Barnes is.
No, I like Walden.
I like Walden too.
That guy. You need someone that can go shut it down in the 9th inning,
and they have him, and it's Matt Barnes, and they haven't been using him because they don't have a guy for the 8th inning.
Yeah.
So question. Nathan Eovaldi comes back in about 2 or 3 weeks.
No.
Is he your reliever? I think so.
Starter.
I think he should be in the bullpen.
You're wasting 101 if you only have him out there for 3 outs.
No, you're not. You're actually maximizing his value because he's only had 1 or 2 good years in his MLB career. And he did really well in relief last year. And you know what got him a contract? A 6-inning relief appearance.
We don't like to talk about that because, we're not going to talk about that.
I'm just saying.
Said it at the time. Cannot give Nathan Eovaldi money.
$17 million is what Craig Kimbrell's asking price was, so they basically chose Nathan Eovaldi over Craig Kimbrell. And I think at this point, when you look at the bullpen situation, and your rotation's been fine in Eovaldi's absence, and when he was there, it was not very good. I think you maximize his value for an inning, maybe 2 innings, and you put him in the bullpen. You make him either your 8th inning guy or he's your closer.
Do you acknowledge that it was a mistake to give Eovaldi the contract over Kimbrell?
$17 million. Yeah, I would have rather given it to Kimbrell than Eovaldi. I wanted Eovaldi back over Kimbrell. I did not want Eovaldi for $17 million.
I would have rather Kimbrell.
I just thought Eovaldi at his stage in his career, and I also suggested this when they actually signed Eovaldi that he could be the next closer. I've been on this train since when he signed November, December. I've been on that train for a while, and I still think that's where it is. But if you want to point to a reason Craig Kimbrell's not on the Red Sox, it's the Nathan Eovaldi contract. Or if you want to go a little deeper, you can say it's the Pedroia contract. Because $12 million to Dustin Pedroia is not helping either. Because they have like $5 million in room.
All right, quickly before we hit our last topic, NBA Finals prediction: blank wins in blank amount of games. Jacqueline?
Okay, because I said Celtics in 6 last time, and they got destroyed. I'm going to say Warriors in 6 to hopefully do a little mishy-mash. What is it called?
Reverse jinx.
Reverse jinx. That is my prediction.
I can't talk. My mind's gone.
So Durant's already out for game 1, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he also out game 2, or is it just game 1?
It's just game 1, I think.
I'm going to go bold here. I'm going to go Raptors in 6.
In 6?
They're going to take it in Oracle in game 6.
No. I can't
Dude, Kawhi had Golden State fans on with their freaking thumbs up their ass 2 years ago when he dropped like 40 and then he got hurt because Pachulia cheap shot at his ass.
I think
there's no Zaza Pachulia ruined Kawhi Leonard's season.
Raptors do.
Raptors in 6. I got them there.
Placing a bet on the Raptors would be really smart here, but my head says go with the team that's better. And Golden State is miles better than Toronto. Kawhi might be
miles better without Durant, though. I don't think so.
Yes.
I think it's a lot closer than you think it is.
They're still multiple miles better.
Home court advantage.
But it's like
I just spilled water on myself.
I I think that it makes Curry and Clay and Draymond play better without Durant. I do. Curry will win Finals MVP. I'll take Warriors in 6, and I'm going to be rooting for Toronto the entire way.
I don't know. For some reason, and I think it might just be because Toronto's gotten this far on the back of Kawhi Leonard. There's a huge difference between the Kawhi-led Raptors and the DeRozan-led Raptors, and Kawhi is an assassin, and that dude's been there before, and he can shut down your best player. He might actually have to match up on Curry this postseason, which would be a fun.
Who does he go after? I think he goes after Clay, but that's not necessarily the best use of Kawhi. And when Durant comes back, yeah, he's going to take Durant, but then that's going to really compromise him on the offensive end if Durant does come back. So that's why the Raptors are in a pickle. They need Lowry to perform, Danny Green to show up, who didn't show up last series. Same thing with Gasol and Ibaka, and I don't think they can do it.
So my thought process is Kawhi actually takes Curry, and then Danny Green takes Clay. Because I think Danny Green on Clay is actually a decent matchup.
Curry's probably easier because Curry's quicker. I don't know if Kawhi can adjust to the quickness that quick.
I'm never going to discredit. So I'm never going to count out Kawhi Leonard and his freaking fundamentals. That dude just knows how to play defense the right way. I apologize if you're my little brother crying.
That's okay.
All right. Anyway, I'll edit that one out too.
Anyways.
3, 2, 1.
It's the final 15.
Oh, God.
Okay, so our topic is if you could have any 3 teams never win a championship again, who would they be? And then the opposite, if you could have 3 teams win a championship, like, who would they be?
For the rest of your life.
Yeah. So,
Do you want me to lead?
You can lead off because I haven't thought about it.
So mine's pretty easy. I got the Yankees because the Yankees suck. They're one big bag of suck. All their rings were won when they're still. What was it? There weren't black players in the league. There wasn't.
They won 10 before Jackie Robinson played a game in the MLB, and they won. And I think they won 18. I think they won 18 before they were even in a playoff. It was like the top 2 teams just played in the World Series.
The Yankees are bums. Steinbrenner's a tool. The other Steinbrenner's a cuck. I don't know how much farther I can go. I absolutely hate the New York Yankees. Being a baseball fan at heart, out of all the 4 sports, baseball is my number 1. The Yankees can go pound sand. I would block them so fast. Now, the other 2 spots I really had to think about, but it got a little bit easier because my brother is a New York sports fan and basically everything anti-Boston. He's got the Yankees, and his second favorite sport is basketball. That meant Kobe Bryant. That means the Lakers can also screw, and LeBron's on there, so that's even more hate for me to direct toward LeBron. So I have the Yankees, the Lakers, and the third, Sean will like this, I have the Cowboys, just for the simple fact that their fans would be so insufferable for years and we could always laugh at them. Also, my boss is a Cowboys fan. I think I've mentioned that multiple times, but I would still be able to laugh at him. It would be pretty good. Narrowly missing out would be the Canadiens because they haven't really been relevant since I was, 11? I mean, yeah, they beat the Bruins in 2014, but really they suck right now. So I'm sure that rivalry will come to the forefront in a couple more years. And I couldn't really think of any football team that I didn't want to win outside of Pittsburgh, but
Dallas?
No. Any other football team that is.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, like the Jets, no. The Giants, no. Dolphins, Bills, they weren't worthy enough to get onto the Cowboys, Lakers, and Yankees level. So that's fine.
I guess I'll go next. For me, obviously, I'm with you. The Yankees 100% are a team that I would block because, they're the fucking Yankees. And as a Sox fan, as a Sox fan, there's nothing I want more than to watch Yankees fans suffer. And I know that Jacqueline has one in the room with her.
I don't know where he went.
Okay, well, in the vicinity of her.
And our Yankee bashing.
We're
he's scared.
He's doing a dance right now.
He's a coward.
No.
He's a coward.
No.
Absolutely.
No, we're doing the 3 teams that we never want to win a championship again. Okay, shut up. Go away. Make lunch.
Wow, you actually just told me to go make you a sandwich.
Me too.
Kitchen now.
Make one for me too.
He goes, you actually just told me to make you a sandwich. That's ridiculous.
But obviously, the Yankees are a team that I would block in a heartbeat. After that,
for all of our 3 listeners, this right here, this Yankee fan, this is why we hate the Yankees. People like you, I hate you. I can't stand you, and I hope.
Can't say that. That's too far.
Well, I mean, I am dating a Yankees fan, so I guess that's kind of.
Jacqueline.
And a Giants fan, and it's kind of the worst.
Hand over all your Red Sox and Patriots merch.
No.
We're gonna need you to swear on the Bible that you will never become a New York sports fan.
Yeah, I will never do that.
I state your name.
I, Jacqueline Galvin, will never become a sports fan. Ever.
Become a New York.
He's playing with a knife near me now. He's threatening me.
Who's more threatening, Sam or your boyfriend right now?
Anyways.
I still think Sam.
Who was your third? Wait, who were yours, Jordan?
I didn't get past the Yankees yet.
Okay.
Obviously, the Yankees are the team that I'd block first and foremost. It's kind of weird because they haven't won a Stanley Cup in a long time, but I hate the city of Toronto so much that I'm going to pick the Leafs as another team that I just hope never win a cup. Toronto Maple Leafs fans are absolute cancer. They're the worst human beings on the face of the earth. So this is back when what?
Cowboys fans are worse.
No, dude, Maple Leafs fans make fun of the Boston Marathon bombing on Twitter all the time. They're the worst.
That's good.
They're the worst human beings on the planet, and I can't pick the Cowboys because my dad's a Cowboys fan, and sometimes I like seeing my dad happy.
I mean, like in the grand scheme of things, Toronto fans may be worse, but I just hear from so many more Cowboys fans. It's annoying.
Yeah.
And plus, if the Cowboys never win a Super Bowl, Stephen A. will never stop doing his antics, and that is just amazing.
That is true. And my third team, I don't know. That's tough. It kind of stumps me. Can I just say LeBron?
Sure.
Because I mean, it's the Lakers. I guess it'll probably be where he finishes his career. So I'll just say the Lakers or LeBron wherever he goes. Don't want to see him win anything else.
All right, so mine are obviously again the Yankees because I'm actually going to a Yankees game.
No,
Yankees. It's Yankees and who's the other team? And the Rays. So it should be actually a good game.
Yeah,
I mean,
suck. No, the Rays are gonna win, so I'm not that concerned.
Yeah. So I'm going. I'm actually excited for it because
I
mean, you've been to a Yankees game.
I like Fenway, but Yankee Stadium is really nice.
Yeah, that's why I've heard it's really nice.
They do it right. They do.
I'm very excited to go. But anyway, so I would obviously pick the Yankees, and then this one's a very random one, but my brother played Division III lacrosse, and he was like my only his team made it to the national championship. But there's a team in their division called Salisbury, and I despise them. I despise Salisbury. They're like the worst. And so I would never, like, if they would never win a lacrosse championship again, I would be so happy.
Say less.
I'm going to chime in here for a second. First of all, one of my buddies goes to Salisbury. He plays infield for Salisbury, but
no one cares.
It's only lacrosse.
Yeah, so lacrosse. But I just want to let it be known. You asked that question, and she's literally barring a D3 lacrosse team from winning a national championship as her answer. That's
Yes.
Does it make you feel better with the Yankees with the other team? Because they're just as worthy.
He left. So anyways, he said, does it make you feel better that the Yankees are one of the other teams? Anyways, so then my other one, I'm kind of torn because I hate the Steelers. I hate them with a passion.
Mm-hmm.
But I also hate Cam Newton with a passion.
Yes.
So my third one, I guess, is the Pittsburgh Steelers because I hate Ben Roethlisberger, or the Carolina Panthers because I hate Cam Newton. I can't really choose between them. But Chris Hogan is on the Panthers now, and I want nothing but success for him. So that's really tough. So I guess I'll go with the Steelers with the Panthers very close behind because I hate Roethlisberger. And then an honorable mention is the Warriors because
I don't mind them.
Fuck the Warriors. No, they're good.
They're not as good as the Lakers. The Lakers have been good for longer.
That's true.
Side question though, is if you could block any 3 cities, because I have 4 and I'm torn.
Cities?
It's New York, LA, and I can't decide if I want to ban Philly or Toronto more. I'm probably banning Philly just because their cities is just trash.
That city's so annoying. I'm
Toronto
sorry,
just has
Rory, if you ever listen to this, but Philly sucks.
Philly
It's
sucks.
awful.
Philly absolutely sucks.
Yeah, George goes. They riot when they win.
No, they eat horse crap when they win.
Yeah,
That
it's
tells you
crazy.
everything you know about Philly.
Yeah.
Oh, what a second-rate city. Seriously. All right, what was our other one? Three teams that if you could only watch 3 teams win a championship for the rest of your life, who would it be?
Obviously, Patriots. Obviously, Red Sox, and obviously the Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
So, yeah, but that would be nice because it would be like a nice little battle between Patriots and the Browns to see who represents. And every year, I'd have someone who's winning.
3 teams that I would only be able to watch the rest of my life. I would pick. This is hard.
It is because
Jordan, you have to go. You have to go. I gotta think.
Okay. It is hard because there's 4 major sports and obviously 4 Boston sports teams. I'm already getting rid of the Celtics because I hate basketball. So that makes it a little bit easier for me, and I'm just going to go Sox, Bruins, and Patriots.
Yeah.
I hate football. I'm sorry. I hate sports. I hate basketball that much.
You picked the right one.
Yeah.
Red Sox, Patriots.
You're going to say Sharks, aren't you?
You know what?
Actually, can we do this and can we do 3 non-Boston sports teams? I feel like that makes it a little bit better.
Sure. But that's not what I'm going with here. I am going with a non-Boston sports team for my third one. I'm going with the U.S. men's national team because then the U.S. could thumb their nose at the rest of
women's national team.
The women have already won it.
The women are so dominant in soccer.
I could laugh my ass off at everybody in the world.
That's true.
Like, you want to talk about ultimate egotism? Like, if you get both the men's and the women's national teams winning one in, let's say, the span of a decade, if they win the next World Cup, the women's team won last time around. They could win this year. They're pretty stacked, from what I hear.
They're really good. I know someone on the team. She's really good.
Plus, the U.S. didn't make it last year, and I watched the entire men's World Cup essentially, and it was very sad that the U.S. men's national team.
I love watching the World Cup. It's fun.
All right, 3 non-Boston sports teams. I got to go with my boys, the San Jose Sharks, who have never won it before. Second, got to be the Vikings. Third, I don't really have a third, to be honest with you.
Not the Dodgers?
The Browns.
No, see, I don't really care enough about the Dodgers. I just like
the Browns.
No, Jacqueline, I will never
pick the Browns.
I will not pick the Browns, Jacqueline. I guess if you force me to, I'd say the Grizzlies because they've never won one either.
Okay.
I would do the Browns, and the Browns. No, I would probably do the Browns. I really like the Vegas Golden Knights, and no, it's not because they made it really far last year. It's because I really liked what they did after the shooting in Las Vegas. Because that was the only sports team in Vegas, and I thought that they really kind of carried that community on their back after that happened, and so I was like rooting for them, and that is not why I'm not a bandwagon. It was at the beginning of the season that I liked them. So to all of our 2 fans who call me a bandwagon,
root for them at the end, and I wanted the Caps because they had just.
You can't really bandwagon the Golden Knights. They're 2 years old.
Oh, exactly. No, I got it. Scratch the Grizzlies. I want Sparty to win. I forgot about them. I don't know why.
And Auburn for me. Auburn. War Eagle.
Jordan.
My word. So for me, that's actually also pretty hard. But I think for hockey, and you're gonna kill me for this one, I like the New York Rangers. They're my second team in hockey. But yeah, I like Henrik Lundqvist a lot. So I would like to see him win a cup. It's not necessarily like forever, but like I would like to see Henrik Lundqvist win a cup at some point in his career. After that, I'd probably go with I don't know if there's a football team out there I'd like to see. I don't want to pick. I don't know. No. I don't want to pick Dallas because I'd like to see them win a ring so that way my dad can be happy eventually. But I don't want to see them win every year. But Jeremy actually left.
Yeah, Jeremy actually left.
He actually left. I'll switch to baseball while I think of a football team, and I think my baseball team would probably be the Pirates. I don't know why, but I just like Pittsburgh. I like their field a lot. Their fans have been through hell and back there too because they're literally boycotting the team because they suck.
Good. Oh, what about the Marlins?
No.
Screw the Marlins.
No.
After that damn project.
Yeah, and then I guess
want nothing but losses for them.
You know what? I'll go to basketball for my last one, and I'll just pick. I'll go with Jeremy on that, and I'll say the Grizzlies. I liked watching them when they had like Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, and everybody.
Sparty. Oh. And I got my new hat. The internet. Oh, Jesus, is it gonna focus? The international symbol for choke. So if I ever go to like some event where my team's losing and they're choking hard, I'm just gonna whip on the Falcons hat and just be like,
Beautiful.
guess what? They suck. This is because I don't have the hat for the team. I'm gonna win the Falcons.
All right.
I got a Mighty Duck snapback. So that was pretty cool.
Wow.
The last snapback that I will ever get. Ooh, hello, Jordan's relative.
Hello.
Okay.
I only got a quick look. I only saw the other corner of my eyes. I couldn't tell what that was.
Well,
that's my
I
sister.
have to leave, so I guess that means the show's over.
Yeah, we got it out. So that'll do it for this edition of the Massholes with Mikes. I'm Jordan Leandry, joined by Jack and Galvin, Jeremy Guerin. Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Bum, ba, ba, bum, bum, ba, 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 bum, 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 ba, bum, bum, bum. This has been Massholes with Mike.